The Western Cape government is pushing for a provincial disaster declaration as wildfires continue to wreak havoc in that province. The provincial government officials have approached the National Disaster Management Centre in an effort to get more funding and boost firefighting efforts. Now, for the latest on this request, I'm now joined by Colin Diener, who is the head of disaster management at the Western Cape Department of Local Government and Environmental Affairs. Very good afternoon to you. Welcome to Newzroom Afrika. How will this declaration assist in the firefighting efforts?
Good afternoon, Mpho, and to your viewers. So what's important to understand about a disaster declaration is it gives the executive of the province, in the event of a provincial disaster declaration, certain special powers. So certain regulations can be made, like, for example, if we need to evacuate people or if we want to stop open fires during very high risk fire days. It also allows certain special decisions that can be made and special arrangements that can be made around procurement. And up to now, our expenditure has been, in the first 2 months of our wildfire season, more than the total of our entire season last year. So we really want to use the declaration to assist us to manage the remainder of the wildfire season.
When it comes to logistics, coordination, and just gathering the firefighting team, what sort of constraints are you currently battling with at the moment?
Yeah, I think the main constraint we're battling with is the high volume of incidents. So we do a huge amount of preparedness before the season starts. We contract aerial resources between ourselves and some of our partners like the City of Cape Town and the Cape Winelands District and South African National Parks. We contract a lot, almost 20 aircraft. We have in the region of 3,000 firefighters. So it is a large investment in personnel, in resources. But what is really this year is really the big constraint is the very high volume of incidents. City of Cape Town dealt with 4,000 fire incidents in January. So that's really the big thing. It's not that we have a resource shortage or any of that kind of situation. It's really just that we are so busy.
As you collate the number of fires you've had to deal with and the impact, where are you standing?
Yeah, so again, as I said, I think the fire number is very high, the amount of incidents we're dealing with. And I think what's really important is we have what we call our rapid attack program in the Western Cape, which we've been doing for about 10 years, which enables us to respond very quickly. So we've had damage. We haven't had any loss of life, thankfully, and we're working very hard to keep it that way. There's been minimal damage. But that takes a huge effort. We have had large areas like the fire in the Cape Winelands, around 30,000 hectares, lots of agricultural damage. We haven't had much property damage. We've had some houses in the Overstrand area. So it's been low damage relatively to other major fire seasons, but it's really been a massive effort by everybody involved.
I know that, this is the fire season, but other factors like the El Nino weather pattern, how much of an impact has it had this year?
Yes, I think weather, the whole concept of global warming and climate change, I believe we're really seeing that manifest. We must not forget, in June and September, we had massive flooding. And that flooding caused quite a lot of growth. So we've seen, a lot of more biomass in areas. And we've had extremely hot temperatures in December. But the biggest thing that we've had that's made life difficult for us has been very high winds virtually every day. And when you're having the kind of storm level winds that we've been having, that really creates havoc because, these winds turn, they move through mountains, that kind of thing. So we're almost definitely seeing a much bigger impact on the fire incidents that we're dealing with.
In your call for a provincial disaster classification, insofar as the process is concerned, what will you be looking to get in terms of a response and perhaps the processes that need to be followed before it can be declared?
Okay, so we requested last week, Thursday, we sent the request through where we discussed this with the Premier of the province and the department. We then did a telephonic request and then followed that up. And we met with the National Disaster Management Centre on Saturday because they have to come and do an assessment just to satisfy themselves, of the facts. We had to submit some documents over the weekend, and they are in the process of considering it. So we believe that the reply will be imminent. Should we get the reply, we will then have to just publish it in the Provincial Gazette, and then that allows us to continue, with whatever regulations or measures we want to take. I just want to mention that, it doesn't stop us from doing what we have to do. So we continue responding to the fires. We will continue, to evacuate if we have to, do the necessary interventions that we have to. But the declaration is something that will give us just the legal cover to be able to move forward.
Very well. Thank you so much for that input. Colin Diener, Head of Disaster Management at the Western Cape Department of Local Government and Environmental Affairs. Thank you.